Welcome once more to my YouTube channel. If you are watching this video for the first time, just subscribe, and at the end of this lesson, when you feel the lesson was so good, just thumb up and let us interact in our lesson 6, that is English parts of speech, where we are going, lesson 7, where we are going to look at conjunctions. So we are going to look at conjunctions. We are going to look at different types of conjunctions that will help us understand a lot. So I ask you to be patient and listen as we move forward. So, conjunctions. A conjunction is a word that joins. A conjunction is a word that does what? That joins. A conjunction is a word that joins. So a conjunction joins two parts of a sentence, meaning we can have a sentence having two parts. Let me take, for example, a compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence that has been formed out of two short, independent sentences, meaning main clause sentences that can stand on their own, and they make a compound sentence. What about complex sentence? Complex sentence is where we have a minor clause and a major clause, meaning the two combining or being joined sentences. One can stand on its own, meaning it is independent clause, while the other one cannot stand on its own, meaning it cannot make a complete meaning unless supported by additional information. So here are some examples of conjunctions, and we are going to look at coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunction. So here we are not just looking at conjunctions as it were, as before when we were in primary school or secondary school or college, but we are like, what do we really mean when we talk about coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions? Now, I want to say this before I give those examples. When we talk about coordinating conjunctions, we use coordinating conjunctions when in the actual sense we are dealing with clauses of equal weight. Maybe they are independent clauses or both of them are minor clauses, dependent. But when it comes to subordinating clauses, they come in when we are coming up with complex sentences and with various reasons like cause, effect, and what have you. So let us start with form. So we are saying we can consider conjunctions from three aspects. The first one is form. Conjunctions have three basic forms. There is the single word. For example, before I move to form, examples of coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, nor, for, yet, so. Then when we come to subordinating conjunctions, we have although, because, since, unless. So let us now move to form. So I'm saying conjunctions have three basic forms. The first one, single word. For example, and, but, although. The second form is compound, often ending with as or that. For example, provided that, as long as, in order that. So I'm saying provided that, as long as, in order that. Those are compound conjunctions. Let us move to what we call correlative conjunctions, meaning they are surrounded. These are surrounded. Surrounding an adverb or adjective. For example, so dash dash that. Then, when we finish form, let us move to function. Conjunctions have two basic functions or jobs. The first one is coordinating conjunctions. So what do we mean when we say conjunctions function as coordinating? What do they do? Coordinating conjunctions are used to join two parts of a sentence that are grammatically equal. Grammatically equal. So the two parts may be single words or clauses. For example, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Or the water was warm, but I didn't go swimming. The water was warm. I didn't go swimming. You see, those two clauses or those two short sentences have the same weight. You see, they can stand on their own. None of the two is weaker than the other. None of the two is dependent on the other. Both of them are independent. Now, let us move to subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are used to join a subordinate dependent clause to a main clause. So here is where we have a subordinate clause, meaning dependent, meaning it's minor. It cannot stand on its own. And the other one is independent. It's a main clause. It can stand on its own. So let us look at this example. I went swimming, although it was cold. It was cold. Now let us look at the two. Which one is minor and which one is main clause? When you tell somebody like this, I went swimming, then you stop there. Mr. John, I went swimming. Then you stop there. He'll ask you what, where, so what. But when you say it was cold, it was cold. Yeah, it was cold. It stops there. So let us move to position of conjunctions. So, for example, coordinating conjunctions always come between the words or clauses that they join. They come between John and James. So, and is between John and James. What about subordinating conjunctions? They usually come at the beginning of the subordinate clause. They usually come at the beginning of the subordinate clause. What is a subordinate clause? A subordinate clause is a clause or a short sentence that is dependent, meaning it cannot stand on its own. It is just minor and it needs additional information for it to be complete or to make sense. So in this lesson, we will look in more detail at the following. We want now to look at coordinating conjunctions. The short, simple conjunctions are called coordinating conjunctions. And, but, or, nor, for, yet, so. These are coordinating conjunctions. So we want to look at them in detail. So a coordinating conjunction joins parts of a sentence, for example, words or independent clauses that are grammatically equal or similar. Grammatically equal or similar. So like the example I gave above, both of them were minor clauses. I went swimming. It was cold. When you tell somebody I went swimming, it was cold. What was cold? I went swimming. Swimming where? Yeah? That's what I want you to capture. So a coordinating conjunction shows that the elements it joins are similar in importance and structure. So look at these examples. The two elements that the coordinating conjunctions join are shown in square brackets. I like tea and coffee. I like tea and coffee. So here we are joining tea and coffee. Ram likes tea, but Anthony likes coffee. So we are joining here Ram likes tea and Anton likes coffee. So in the first one, we are joining just words, but in the second one, we are joining group words. So coordinating conjunctions always come between the words or clauses that they join. So when a coordinating conjunction joins independent clauses, it is always correct to place a comma before the conjunction. I'm saying when a coordinating conjunction joins independent clauses, it is always correct to place a comma before the conjunction. Take, for example, I want to work as an interpreter in the future. That is a sentence that is independent. It's complete. Comma. So, I am studying Russian at university. You see, you can tell somebody, I am studying Russian at university. It's a complete sentence. It has meaning. So it's an independent clause. And you can also tell somebody, I want to work as an interpreter in the future. That sentence is complete. So it is independent. And we are joining the two using so. However, if the independent clauses are short and well balanced, a comma is not really essential. If they are short and well balanced, a comma is unnecessary. For example, she is kind, so she helps people. She is kind. She helps people. She is kind. She helps people. Those are three words, and they are short. So when and is used with the last word of a list, a comma is optional. I'm saying when and is used with the last item in a sentence, a comma is an optional. You know, you can say, I went to the market and bought bread, sugar, meat, and whatever, tea leaves. So listen, we can say, he drinks beer, whiskey, wine, and rum. Yes, he drinks beer, whiskey, wine, and rum. Now, there is a comma somewhere. You see, you can say he drinks beer, comma, whiskey, comma, wine, comma, and rum. Or you can say he drinks beer, comma, whiskey, comma, wine, and rum. So using comma is not really essential, but it is optional. So let us look at the 7 coordinating conjunctions, which are short, simple words. They have only 2 or 3 letters. There is an easy way to remember them, especially when we use their initials. You see, there is for, there is there is nor, there is but, there is or, there is yet, and there is so. So you can say fun boys, fun boys, fun boys. F for, unknown, but, or, why, yet, and s, so. Fun boys, fun boys, fun boys. And let me look at them now in detail and explain. When we use for, we use for to join sentences that are showing some reason. I came for you. Why did you come? I came for you. And is when you are joining two clauses that are similar in weight. Like when you say Tom and Mary. Nor is used when joining two clauses that are equal, that are independent, but negative. And always it comes as a pair. So you can say, Musa neither went to the market nor the airport. So he did not go to the both. He did not. But it's used to join sentences that are contrasting, that are opposite. Like when you say, I worked hard, but I did not succeed. You see, we expected that when you work hard, you will succeed. But unfortunately, you didn't succeed. What about or? Or will always be used to join sentences of option, choices, alternatives. You can study at the university or at college. You can choose any. What about yet? Yet. Yet is like but, only that yet has a surprise, has a shocking like aspect attached. So yet is like but attached with some surprise. Yes, with some surprise. So, yet, let me give an example. My grandmother is 120 years old, but she still drives her car. We don't expect that, but it's surprising. Let us move to subordinating conjunctions. Let us move to subordinating conjunctions. Just a minute. Okay. Subordinating conjunctions. The majority of conjunctions are subordinating conjunctions, not coordinating conjunctions. Common subordinating conjunctions are after, although, as, because, before, how, if, once, since, than, that, though, till, until, when, where, whether, why. Those are examples of subordinating conjunctions. So what are we saying? A subordinating conjunctions join a subordinate dependent clause to a main independent clause. That is it. So it's joining two clauses with a different weight. One is a dependent and the other one is independent. Let us look at this example. Ram went swimming. This is a main or independent clause. although it was raining. Look at the two. When you say it was raining, you just stand before somebody and say it was raining. Somebody will believe. But when you tell somebody, Ram went swimming, it's complete, it's made, it's independent. It doesn't need additional information. Yes. So what are we saying? We are saying a subordinate or dependent clause depends on a main or independent clause. It cannot exist alone. Imagine that somebody says to you, hello, although it was raining. Then somebody stops there. Somebody just says to you, hello, although it was raining. And he stops there. What do you understand? Nothing. But a main or independent clause can exist alone. You will understand very well if somebody says to you, hello, Ram went swimming. Look at that. You don't need additional information. So, a subordinating conjunction always comes at the beginning of a subordinate clause. It introduces a subordinate clause. However, a subordinate clause can sometimes come after and sometimes before a main clause. Can change. Thus, two structures are possible. Listen to this. Ram went swimming, although it was raining. So we are seeing although as a subordinating conjunction coming after the independent clause. So in this sentence, independent clause comes first, while dependent clause comes last. It was raining. But you can change, and you can say, although it was raining, Ram went swimming. Although it was raining, Ram went swimming. So what are we getting to understand here? It's not just changing them. Let us see what is happening. When you start your sentence, your final sentence, with the independent clause and end with the dependent clause, there's no comma. There's no comma. But when you start with the subordinating or the subordinate clause and end with the independent clause, then there must be a comma to separate the two. Because when you say, although it was raining, comma, Ram went swimming. But in the first one, you just say, Ram went swimming, although it was raining. Ram went swimming, although it was raining. So let us look at what we call conjunctive adverbs. Conjunctive adverbs coming in the conjunction, meaning conjunctions behaving as adverbs. So an adverb that indicates a relationship in meaning between two independent clauses is called conjunctive adverb. Meaning a conjunction, what I mean is this, I'm saying an adverb that indicates the relationship in meaning between two independent clauses is called conjunctive adverb. Conjunctive adverb. So, unlike a conventional adverb that we know, which usually affects the meaning of only a single word or phrase, the meaning of a conjunctive adverb, that is conjunct, affects the entire clause, which it is a part. Yes, we are aware of an adverb modifying a verb, adjective, adverbs, and clauses. So that's what we are seeing here, and they function as conjunction. So let us look at common conjunctive adverbs. They are as follows. Now, on the contrary, in addition, perhaps, namely, so, further, next, meanwhile, thus, finally, in addition, likewise, consequently, in addition, further, later, therefore, finally, in the meantime, that is, next, perhaps, instead, then, next, in short, subsequently, in addition, in fact, still, indeed, on the other hand, otherwise, similarly, anyway, moreover, in any case, incidentally, nevertheless, anyhow, furthermore, hence, however, also, at the same time, for example, for instance, afterward, at last, earlier, eventually, accordingly, as a result, besides, certainly. Now let us move at what we are referring to as etymology. Etymology is a Latin word meaning joined together. Etymology. So examples and observations. Let us see. Always go to other people's funeral. Otherwise, they won't go to yours. So this is a proverb or a saying by Yogi Berra. Always go to the other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours. Another example, nothing can be unconditional. Consequently, nothing can be free. This is according to George Bernard Shaw. Another example, as for doing good, that is one of the professions which are full. Moreover, I have tried it fairly, and strange as it may seem, I'm satisfied that it does not agree with my constitution. That is according to Henry David Thoreau Walden. That was 1884 in USA. Another example, learning is about more than simply acquiring new knowledge and insights. It is also crucial to unlearn old knowledge that has outlived its relevance. Thus, forgetting is probably at least as important as learning. So if you can forget what is not necessary, that's okay. That's according to Gary Ryan Player. Another example, you are never given a wish without also being given the power to make it come true. You may have to work for it, however. That's according to Richard Birch. They were not sleeping on board the brig. On the contrary, they were talking, singing, laughing. This is according to Jules Verne, The Mysterious Island, 1874. So we come to the end of our lesson. If you are pumping to this video for the first time, subscribe, give it a thumb up, interact with me in Google Class, talk to me, let us talk. serious English, and not slang, not street English, not just anything close to English, but English where you respect the rules. Yeah. This brings us to the end of this lesson. Thank you very much, and welcome again.